Marcy Martin loved comics. She spent her days in a boring data entry job, but her nights were filled with color and adventure. Marcy was secretly creating her own comic book. Her creation was Sky Sparkler, a super-powered teen. Sky could fly, shoot energy beams, and fight for justice. Marcy poured her heart into every page. She dreamed of a life less ordinary. One day, Marcy found a strange rock. It was smooth and warm. A note was attached. "Make a wish," it read, "but be careful what you wish for." Marcy laughed. It felt like something out of her comics. Still, a tiny part of her felt curious. Marcy stared at the rock. "What if?" she whispered. Closing her eyes, she held the rock tight. "I wish I could be Sky Sparkler," she blurted out. The room filled with light. Marcy gasped. The light faded and everything was quiet. Had it worked? No, this was silly. Marcy looked in the mirror. She froze. Staring back at her was not Marcy, the data entry clerk. It was Sky Sparkler in all her teenage glory. Panic surged through her. Her reflection had bright blue hair, sparkling eyes, and a youthful energy Marcy hadn't felt in years. This was her dream come true. But it was also her worst nightmare. How could she explain this? Marcy discovered her new powers were real. She could fly. It was exhilarating. Energy crackled in her hands, forming powerful beams. She could lift heavy objects with ease. She was strong, fast, and practically invincible. She practiced controlling her powers. Every flight, every blast of energy felt incredible. She was living her dream, but the world didn't know who she was. She was a superhero trapped in a secret identity she never wanted. Marcy needed a plan. She had to prove she was the real Sky Sparkler, the one from her comics. She had to convince the world, and more importantly, she had to convince herself that she was worthy of these powers. Section 4. Trapped in a Tween Body. Marcy, as Sky, tried to contact her usual comic book publisher. She wanted to tell them about her transformation, but no one believed her. "Sky Sparkler is a fictional character," they said, laughing. She even went to the police, but they thought she was just a confused kid. Frustrated, Marcy realized the impossible. No one believed a teenager could be a superhero. They wouldn't even listen. She felt trapped, her own creation used against her. She needed a bigger platform, a way to get everyone's attention. An idea sparked in her mind. If no one would believe the truth, she would show them. She would go to the highest authority she could think of. She would go to Congress. Section 5. The Congressional Showdown. News of Sky Sparkler's appearance spread like wildfire. It was the talk of the nation. The halls of Congress were buzzing with anticipation and fear. The room was packed. Cameras flashed. Everyone waited with bated breath. And then she entered. Small but determined, Sky Sparkler stood before them. Her voice, though young, commanded attention. She spoke of truth, of justice, and of responsibility. She spoke of her struggle to be heard, to be seen as more than just a child. The room listened, some with skepticism, some with awe, but everyone listened. This was not a publicity stunt. This was a young hero fighting for her right to be heard. Section 6. A Spark of Hope. Marcy knew she couldn't reveal her true identity, not yet, but she could use her voice, Sky's voice, to make a difference. She spoke about the importance of believing in the impossible, of fighting for what's right, no matter how small you might feel. She left them with a challenge, to look beyond appearances, to listen to the voices that are often ignored. The room erupted in applause. Sky Sparkler had done what Marcy Martin never could. She had made them listen. Flying away, she knew this was just the beginning. She had a long way to go, but she carried a spark of hope. A hope that maybe, just maybe, the world was ready to believe in heroes again.